Hey,
Hello, how are you?
good.
Hello, Pete.
The
Oh, it's been like a minute since I've seen you all. It's just
Oh, good
it's
on
been
you.
so long.
uh,
It's been so long.
Uh,
I was just going to say the Center for Disease and Control in America 2 days ago put up an interesting set of statistics where they broke down all of the deaths allocated to COVID of something like 150,000 plus. They broke them all down. Only 9,000 actually died with COVID.
that's actually wrong, mate. That's actually wrong. It's not by the CDC. That was done by it's done by a hate group in America. It's a Trump supporting group. It was actually done by a group saying that they actually were representing the CDC.
oh God.
It's coming out even more and more prevalent in this election that the Trump supporters are going to do everything they possibly can to get him back into power by using any means necessary. And one of those things is that if you want to see the actual stats, the actual true stats and everything, then there's only one place, and that's WHO. And that's the World Health Organization.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the stats we're getting here aren't right either.
Yeah, it actually has to be. They can't actually say like stuff like that. They can't say, "Oh, it's actually been broken down and it's been done." It would have to be all the bodies would have to be exhumed. They'd all have to be researched. They'd all have
Autopsy,
to be looked at.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's very well done. It's exceptionally well done. But again, it's like most things that happen, unless you get it from an actual source, like an actual true source, the news is going to keep them in that crap.
That's like the aged care here. They've all been aged care nearly that have died. And a lot of them would have died of pneumonia. The COVID may not have taken them out. But because they have had COVID, they just said they died of COVID. So,
well, a lot of them actually probably wouldn't have died. It's a lot more serious than you think.
I know. It's not good for old.
If you've seen anyone who's actually got it, it's a terrible, awful thing for them to go through. They eventually drown.
It's pneumonia. It's like pneumonia.
From pneumonia. Yeah, it's like with AIDS. You don't actually die of AIDS. You die of an AIDS-related disease.
Yeah.
So the AIDS breaks down your body, and then your body is susceptible to other things. The same goes for COVID. Though a lot of these people died because of other things, the COVID broke it down, and it hit so quickly.
Yeah.
It came in so hard.
Yeah.
And they knew about it in January, but they didn't do anything about it.
And knew about it before January.
Well, we did, but we did a lot of things. Like we've done a lot of things, and we've done the right things.
Yeah.
Whether or not Melbourne should have been locked down as quickly as it is, I don't know. I don't know how I'm not medical. I got no idea, Kay. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea. Anyway, we'll get on to a cheerier subject. What have we been up to? What have we all been up to? We won't talk about your brother.
Farm. Farm work.
Farm work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's been a lot of fun. Oh, and doing my album. That's been fun.
Good. You're going to sing for us shortly, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
You're good?
Yeah. I've got it here next to me.
You got.
Oh, I'm getting a reverb. What's that? I know, I've got a reverb. Hang on. Okay, it's gone now. No, I've got it. I'm ready to go. Look. I'm ready to go.
Guitar. Great. Danny, you can be a backup singer. I'll dance.
Okay.
Danny, do you think there's going to be a time within about the next year and a half or so that you'll get back on the stage again?
Well, I'm actually doing a one a month at a local bowls club at the moment for what they allow you to do. We're in Queensland, so on the Gold Coast, and I already did one in August. I'm doing one in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks in September here. So of actually doing that it's because of the restrictions and what have you, a lot of people are not doing anything, so to speak, because they are restricted. And this particular one is to like 100-seater room that's probably restricted to about between 50 to 60 people. But it was done. It was a dinner show, and but I was with a comedian mate to mine today over lunch, and he'd done a couple. He did one in Northern Territory, then he did another one in Brisbane, but he's got nothing now. Forever. He actually, while we're during the meal, he got a call for a possible show. So I've got one for a luncheon, a couple of luncheons, one in November, one in December. That should go off if they don't have any more restrictions and that. So it's there, but I don't see how it's going to be like it was before. They're talking about some of these cruises that would be just 7 days at sea, so they don't have to go to a port. And I would say that's okay, but it kind of defeats the purpose of actually traveling to other countries and things and seeing things, you know.
Well, if you can't get off, it's dreadful.
If they just want to do 7-day cruises, that's what they'll do, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't get on a cruise if you paid me. There's just no way.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, sorry, but that's a petri dish. I'm not going anywhere near that one.
Yeah. After Sydney's effort, no thanks. God.
Right.
Well, after doing karaoke for nearly 5 years, to be honest with you, like, not to swear, but bugger it, I'm sick of drunks. You know, I'm sick of dickheads. I don't want any dickheads for a while. You know, I want a break. So, and my first love has always been musicals anyway. So that's what I want to do instead. I want to be in musicals. I want to sing for people on stage, doing the thing that I loved doing as a kid. I didn't do it when I moved to Orange because I know this is going out to everyone, but it's a clique. It's its own little class system. And I was like, screw that. You know, I want to do that kind of thing. Danny is a specific, you know, he does his type of comedy. You're going to do your type of comedy. I want to do my type of thing. I don't want to have to dress as Elvis anymore. I don't want to have to be in front of drunks anymore and dealing with them. I've had enough. And at 53, I just want to do my music.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people either like it or they don't. Either way, I don't care. You know, I just want to do it.
Sure.
Go for it. Got to try.
I don't know. My sort of philosophy is I've gone through those sorts of things. I very rarely get it these days. Very rarely. But I've seen certain things happen and what have you, and they're very actually mentally challenged people who carry on in audiences. And I mean, but I've seen it, and I, you know, sort of shake my head at the actual outcomes of the whole thing. But it still happens. It still happens, but it's pretty rare. As I said, for me, it's like I just won't put up with it. You know? I just go to the point of it and just say to them, you know, either you shut up or I'm walking off. You know, it's as simple as that. That's what I get down to.
Yeah, to prepare Kaye, what do you do when you prepare? Like when you're doing a gig, what do you do to get yourself there?
Basically, I have the underlying confidence that it's going to go well. I make sure I know my act. I make sure I know that it's, and as I say, when you're starting off and when you're doing it, the major thing is to actually just concentrate on what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. Have a little picture in your head how it's going to go. Don't necessarily mean that that's exactly how it's going to go. It's just that when you do the first one, you got like a blank slate, and then the second one you go, oh, that's how the last one went. So I've got a bit of an idea how this is going to go. Then the second one, then the third one, you start to get a bit more settled in your mind. So therefore you get that confidence, and then
the course actually teaches you to visualize your house. I think I spoke to one of you about this, didn't I? Maybe not. You visualize your house. You visualize your front door that you're opening.
Yeah. You
visualize walking in the door, and you picture things, and that triggers you for the jokes. Where are you going with it? So that's what they said. Just use that. I find that really hard because I'm not actually doing like one-liners. Mine's more storytelling, so it's a bit different. Storytelling changes every time you speak. So, I mean, it's sort of a bit hard. That's something I've got to learn if we ever get this course going.
Danny, do you work off of the fact that if something isn't working for you, you switch to another one? Like if the jokes are failing on this, do you you have it so that you're able to go, okay, well, this line isn't working on here. Do I then move on to the next thing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
so you've got to be thinking on your feet the whole time.
Yeah, I think I've said to Kaye before that the secret to good writing is to just write it out longhand and what have you, and then you edit the way you speak. So you edit your material the way you speak, and you then get used to a setup and punchline or punch lines that are inside your stories and what have you. You have an ending whereby that's that. You make sure that's where you finish, and then the next thing starts. If something's not working, you just go, right, I know the next line, go on. But also something quirky can come out of that. And I remember I've discovered things as I've gone along. Many years ago, 30, 40 years ago, I used to use a gun in the act with the caps, and a very realistic gun. And I was doing John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and Walter Brennan, and I'd change between the voices, and I'd change the hat I was wearing, so that when you did John Wayne, it had the brim up this way, and then when I did Walter Brennan, the brim was down, and it was a rounded thing. And Jimmy Stewart, I took it off. So you were telling the audience that you were changing from character to character. And the voice told them that you changed, but the hat would do it. And the gun, I had this gun on, and I'd move the gun around at different levels on my body. For John Wayne, it was behind my hip. Jimmy Stewart was on the side, and then Walter Brennan was right in front. And he had a walk as well. And at one stage there, I'd go bang with the gun, and it was meant to go. And this I think second or third or fourth performance, the cap didn't go off. So it went click, and the people heard the click, and they're all sitting there going, and then I went bang, so I just made the noise. They all laughed, right?
Yeah. So making it part of the skit.
And I thought, this works. So this part of this particular skit, so I said, okay, around the second click, I'll make sure it doesn't work. So then I added it as part of it, got another laugh. You'll discover things like that. And then you'll also discover things when you say a line that they're laughing at, you've got no idea what the hell they're laughing at. And you just keep it going. And then there's another bit that you'll get would be where they're not laughing. That puts you off a bit. So you go, ooh, that's the setup for the next bit. Then you might stop and say, well, there's no good going on with this particular joke because that was the setup for the next bit. And since that was, and you might say to them, since that was pretty weak, I'm not going on with the joke. And what have you, gives the audience, turns around and goes and says, they sort of come with you, when you know that if you're doing something wrong or whatever, or it doesn't work and you go, I'll go to something else. Also, there was one particular routine that I used to do with it was with Bill Cosby, and it was about a childbirth thing, right? And there was one line that I did that never got a laugh, and I always thought this is a funny line, and no one laughs at this line, and I got very obstinate about the whole thing. And I used to work with a band, a particular band in Brisbane, quite a few times. And after about, I don't know, it was about a year or something, we were at this particular place, and the guy said, "You doing Bill Cosby tonight?" And I go, "Yep." "Are you going?" And the piano player said, "Are you going to still do that line that never gets a laugh?" And I go, "Yes, because I think it's funny. And I'm going to keep doing it until someone laughs." He said, "I'll help you out." So I went on that night, did the thing. Remember, I get to the line, there's nothing from the audience, but he goes, "Ha, ha, 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 ha," across the microphone. I said, "Thank you. Now I will," and I said, "Now I'll never do that line ever again," because I was going to keep on doing it until I got a freaking laugh. Right? And I was very obstinate. And it was basically, the line was, and I'll tell you, it was my wife and I used to do special breathing. It was called the Lamaze method, which is different from La Jupiter, La Saturn, La Mercury, right? And it's not a big laugh, but it's funny, you know. Like I'm insisting that's got a bit of a giggle.
I think it's funny.
I never got a giggle.
I'm sorry, I would have laughed.
I would have laughed.
This is back in the 80s too, because
Some people are a bit thick.
Yeah.
Australians,
well, not just thick, just, Australians are like that.
Australians have never heard of Lamaze, right?
Oh, yes, they have. I knew what Lamaze was.
Yeah.
No, not as widely as you think, because I can tell you, I used to say
They just didn't laugh.
I used to say on the stage, we used to use the breathing method Lamaze, which is different from La Jupiter, La Saturn, La Mercury, and nothing. I used to get nothing. And
but even if they don't know what
that's a funny line. I said, "That's a funny line. What the hell is wrong with you people?" You know. And they would all look at me and go, "What the hell is he talking about?" But if I did it in America, it would have been great line. And
there's a comedian called John Mulaney, and he tells a joke, and he goes, "That never gets a laugh, but once it's in it, it stays there forever."
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's it. I'm leaving it. Click it. I'm just going to keep doing it."
Yeah.
It's a comedian thing, and it's an experienced comedian thing that you can get away with. And also, but I do believe that you can do it when you're starting out.
Yeah. Well, the thing about when you're singing, all I would do is I watch the crowd, and I see where I'm getting hits. So if I sing a specific song, especially when I would sing an Elvis song, and I'd watch the crowd and I'd see I got a hit in it, and they would react to it, then I would change as I'm going along. I would have it in front of me, and I would change what I was doing so that I do some other songs, because I knew that this is going to do exactly what I want it to do. Yeah. I want them, because my job was get them on the dance floor, dance as much as possible, dance as hard as they possible, because then they're going to want drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
so you caused your own drums. You caused your own drums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I know exactly what my job was. Yeah. There is a huge difference, though, between someone who's drinking and someone who's drunk.
Yeah.
And I always think it's really funny when someone says, "Oh, alcohol changes me." No, actually, they don't. Alcohol just releases the true person that you are. All it is. It's literally just it's taking away the wall, and the true person's turning up. So I just sing, I look at the crowd. These songs that always worked, though, no matter what I did, no matter where I went, two songs always work. One is anything from, Hound Dog or All Shook Up, any of his early things, you always got a reaction. And the other one is Love Is in the Air. And no matter when I do Love Is in the Air, everybody's up. Yeah. Everyone hears that, and that's it. Bang, out they come. Yeah. Sorry, I just caught myself looking at myself doing that then and just realised I looked exactly like my brother. That was a bit weird. I've got 5 brothers. One actually who I was impersonating then. He actually died in 2014. And I look a lot like him. I have a lot of the same mannerisms. And we did gigs together. And we did this one up at the Waratah, which is a sports club in Orange. And we did a New Year's Eve one. And we had so much fun. It was just the best time. But so many people were coming up going, so it, like, because there was 15 years difference between Jess and I. And they're like, are you guys like father and son or something like this?
I'd have appreciated that.
Because he had grey hair, you know, and I got my dark hair. And I go to him, hey, Jess, you're my dad. And he goes, shut up, Joe. And we had so much fun, though. But he was fantastic. He would look at a crowd and he would go, no, let's skip the song and do this one before I'd even started. And he was right. He was right every time. He could read the crowd really well. He used to work, Danny, with 2 guys in Canberra who were comedians.
Yeah.
So he would do a set, then they'd do their comic thing, then he'd do a set, then a comic one. And it worked really well. So there was singing, comedy.
Yeah.
And the comedy was very, very similar to what you've done, which is why I find it so interesting. I've seen so many comedians. And whenever I go and see a comedian, I always go with the intention of, you know what, even if they're not funny, I'm going to laugh. Because it takes every little bit of guts that you have in yourself to get your ass up there. You know, as I said, I got music. You know, I can hide
exactly
with music.
right, yeah.
You know, I can hide
there's nothing
with
for
music.
a comedian, there's just them.
No. And you know it. As soon as I said the words "lovers in the air," both of you reacted.
Yeah.
Because you know it. I'm singing a song you already know. It's not like Danny's walking up and going, right, I'm going to do a set from Carl Barron that he did, you know, 4 years ago. Everyone knows that you're all going to laugh. It's brand new. It's people sitting there going, right, oh, come on, make me laugh. Come on, hurry up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like with that aggressive, you know, I don't understand.
It's the arms crossed. It's the arm business.
But that's the thing. Why go see a comedian if you're going to react like that? Why don't you go with the...
They're judgmental. They're so judgmental. I get that with the jokes now, constantly. Yeah. That's not funny. That's old. That's been done before. Well, you know, that's right. But I'm just putting them up, you know. Get real.
It's like when I go to like people who come to karaoke and they go, oh, the microphone's not right. Oh, the feed, I'm not getting the fallback that you're singing karaoke, dude. All right. You're not at the opera house, okay? This is a cold chisel, and people have paid money to come see you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is karaoke. So come with that intention. So why not go and see Danny and go, okay, here's a comedian. Cool. This is going to be fun. Go with that attitude. And when you have that attitude, and for the people who are watching us, if you go with that attitude, then you're going to have fun.
Exactly.
Because it is bloody hard to be the person who's standing up there with that microphone in there. And they have worked their ass off to get there. Danny has done the shittest gigs to get himself to where he is now, to how good he is now. Not for you to sit there and go, oh, this sucks.
But
you know, sorry, but it really gets me up that one.
Yeah. It's like anything that if you name any profession, there is only very tiny percentage of them are very good at what they do. They know exactly what they're doing. It looks like they were born to do it. Yeah. But they didn't roll out of bed one day and just go and do it. The thing is that even with a good athlete, a good dentist, a good speaker, so just a speech speaker, with those, it's a skill. It's a gift you're given, but it's a skill, and you still have to. As an athlete, you still have to train. As there are some who don't need a lot of training, and they're very good. They go from 0 to 100, bang, just like that. There's other ones that need a little bit of warming up to get it going. and what have you. So, but it's like it's something that has to be polished. Something has to be nurtured and done every time. So when I had, like, say, a month or two off, when I got up and did the last gig that I did, it had been almost 6 months. There was twice during it that I knew what the next line was, but I couldn't think what the word was to start the line. It's like a singer gets up and goes, oh God, what's the first line of this next song?
Oh, I've had that.
Right? Everybody has it, right? But you go, okay, just start the music. You start the music, and something happens in here.
Yeah.
And you get that first line, and all of a sudden it falls out. You see it, and then it falls out. So what I'm just saying to Kaye is that it's a thing that has to be polished. It has to be taken out and taken for a drive. And you have to. The more you take it for a drive, the more you understand the vehicle, and the more you understand how you do things. So it's not just a once-er. You just don't say, I'll get up this week and I've got another 2 weeks before I get up again. You've got to keep doing it. And you got to say, I've got a goal. You know, my goal is Jerry Seinfeld, when he retired from stand-up the first time, right? I think he did the last one. He did one just a little while ago. He was saying it took him 18 months to get an hour and a half of material, new material, to get up and go out and do that. I know that there are other people that it took a lot less. Cosby was one. He could add lib stuff that just became routines, and he would remember those things and what have you. But there was
he's a storyteller.
But there's myself. If I remembered one particular time, say the late 80s and through the early 90s and what have you, there was a bunch of material that I did, and I can still do to this day, because I've just changed a few of the words around and made it more modern, that I stuck to I did it for 9 months before I knew the audiences would, if I started to double up again, I was going around these audiences and what have you. So I knew for 9 months, I got to a point in my mind where I went, all I have to do is do this particular routines wherever I go, anywhere in Australia it was inoffensive, it was funny, I knew the stuff inside out, and so when I rocked up to the gig, I was confident. I just checked the sound, the light. That was my only problems, whether the sound was crap or the light was crap. When I'm going on, what time of the night, because like he was just saying before, you can succeed or not because of drunks and what have you. So when you're at a function, you got to the point in your mind where you knew if you went on past 10 o'clock, it wasn't going to work. If you went on between the entree and the meal, that was the best time. If you had 3 gigs in one night, I knew that the first gig, they'd be sitting there fairly quiet. The second gig would be great. The third gig, they're too drunk to remember, because you had to get to the next gig. I used to work. We used to work New Year's Eve. A lot of the acts back in the day, especially through the 80s and the 90s. And on New Year's Eve, you'd work, and you might pick up 3 gigs. You might pick up 1 big gig, and everybody doubled their fee. For some reason or other, the agents used to go in and say, right, double your fee. So New Year's Eve was a big night, and you're exhausted for 2 or 3 days afterwards. That was one of those things where the early gig, the middle gig, and the late gig was totally different. So Kaye will go through, as long as she wants to do this job, you will learn all of this stuff as you go along, but you've got to want to stick at it, and you've got to say, I need to do this because I'm proving myself a point and what have you.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
I had a guy say to me,
I don't want to be on stage.
He said, what did you want to achieve when you first did it? And I said, just entertain people. and but I've got to have fun too. And when the audience doesn't make it fun, that's when you get upset. That's when you say, "Oh, this is not fun," because they're stopping me from doing what I'm doing. If someone's talking through, you got a table down in front, and they're all just talking to one another, and they're ignoring you or whatever it is. You go, "Oh, I'm not enjoying this. I'm being distracted." So you've got to enjoy it yourself. And the times where you come to the ones where you say, "I'm having a crappy gig" or whatever it is, just remember that's you not enjoying yourself. And you just got to go, "Well, I've got to get to that." That's my goal, is to say that if I'm going to entertain these people, I want to enjoy myself doing it, because otherwise, why would I do it? It's not just a job. Yeah, it's not just a job. I want to enjoy it. And
well, I don't need it for a job. So
no, that's exactly right.
I'm already starting in a different
I got to go do farm work in a sec, so I'll do this song.
Oh, okay. Yep, good. Being a farm is hard work.
Oh, it really is, actually.
Introduce your song.
Okay. It's called True Beauty. So it'll actually be. So I'm releasing 2 albums at once. I'm releasing an album called Songs from the Heart, which is all the musicals that I loved so much. It's actually going to be a 2-parter called Songs from My Heart, Songs from My Soul. And they're going to be musicals that I have been in, musicals that I want to still be in, musicals that I loved as a child, and just specific songs that I've chosen from it. And this is from the Blue album that I'm writing. I've already written the Maroon album, which is online for all of those. It's on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon Music. And I'm writing the second one, and I'm recording that at the moment. And this is one of the ones I wrote from it. There is a song on there, but I haven't fully finished it yet. But it's actually a tribute to UK and Rob and David and all of the guys on Twitter.
That's lovely.
And but I haven't fully finished it yet. It doesn't feel right to me yet. And that's what it's like. Like with you, Danny, when you go through it and you go, "Oh, that joke's not hitting. That's just not hitting." All of a sudden you'll go, "Oh, there it is. That's it." The same goes for this. I'll sit here and I'll play and I'll sing, and I'll go, it's just I'm not feeling it. So I'll go back, and then I'll come back to it.
Yep.
Never in my life have I ever sung a song though and thought to myself, "Gee, I hope everybody likes this." I literally write it for me.
Yep.
And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It really isn't that huge a thing to me. It's just, I'm just going to sing it. Just let me know if you guys can hear the guitar though first.
Yep, for sure.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
All right. From across the room she came. Beauty brightens the sky. She brings great joy and love. Can't stop looking at her beauty. See her every day in my head. Her smile takes my breath away. Her eyes lead my heart. I'm so taken by her. Whoa. Does she know how I feel? Does she feel the way I do? Does she care like I do? Does she want me like I do? leave her messages of hope, because she's captured my soul. There is no one more beautiful than her. I always feel like I know her. You are amazing and incredible. I promise to always see it through. Let me in and you'll see our care. You will feel like, oh, you will feel like you've never felt before. Does she know how I feel? Does she feel the way I do? Does she care like I do? Does she want me like I do her? Like I do her? Like I do her?
All right.
Very good.
Oh.
Very good.
So, I mean, I've still got some work to do and moving up and down on the chords and stuff, and the capo isn't working to crash hot. So,
You're going to get a breakup as well a few times.
yeah, I know. It just, that's the way it goes.
Very
but
good.
It'll be better once I put it on record it all and everything too. See, that's my thing that I love. I love when I get to record it and then I sit there and I literally go through every single note and clean it up and move it and change it. And I love all of that stuff. So,
That's you and you like tea.
that's my fun.
Yeah, that's very good.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, very good.
But like you do with your comedy, I'm not satisfied yet.
No.
And I'll keep working on it until I go, okay, now I know where I am. Great, that's what it. And you're also your worst enemy, Kaye. You're never going to be happy, okay, ever. You're going to say something, you're going to do it, and you're going to go, right, look, that's as good as I can get to it. But you're not going to be happy. You're going to listen, you go, oh, that was just shit. I missed the beat here. I didn't do this. I should have done it here. I could have said this. I was singing this. Why did I hit? I missed the note. The note was here. I was here or somewhere else. And everyone else will be going, damn, that was great. You did really well.
We don't know what we're listening for, so.
No. And you're going to do that, okay? You're going to question yourself. But as Danny said, listen to your crowd. Listen to your crowd. Your crowd is going to be your barometer as to where you are in your gig. And you'll do so well by doing that.
Yeah.
And like everything, there are going to be days when you're going to think to yourself, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then there are going to be days when you're just going to go, oh, God, I don't want to do anything else. Yeah. Oh, God. And the hype that you will feel, wow. There is no drug. There is nothing in the world that can equal it or even better it. It is just the greatest thrill ever.
Yep.
I thrive off it.
Yep.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I've got to nick off and get onto this and move cows. So
no worries. All right, James.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again.
You want to do Friday as well? Or you want me to book Friday?
Oh yeah, I'm cool for Friday. I'm doing nothing.
What are you doing,
Friday,
Danny?
I'm out Friday. Sorry.
That's all right. Two of us will entertain ourselves.
Yeah. I'll play the new song, the one I've written for everybody for Twitter.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really enjoyed doing that one. That was a lot of fun.
All right, very good. Well, thank you guys. It's been good.
No,
by the way, hey, before you go, you know how you guys gave me inspiration? I should have a character that comes on first. It's not me that do it.
Yeah.
As soon as I got off from you guys, I already knew exactly what I had to do. So we're going to be a CWA lady.
Oh, yes.
And her name's Olive Grove.
Oh, excellent. Remember to talk about your recipe for something that, it has to be
I've already got visions. I've already got visions of, you walk out type of thing, and then you see all this, like I'm at the wrong venue, right? And there's all these men, and I'm just thinking they're ugly women and stuff like that.
I love it.
I'm a terrible person. Asking why they haven't been waxing. No,
Very good. That's very
good.
And
then having a side conversation with the person backstage, then trying to get me off a type of thing, and wandering off there, then come back as me.
Yeah, that's excellent. I love it.
Brain just went straight into it. I went, oh my God, I never thought of doing that. My God, that's so good.
When you're ready, Kaye, give it to us. Give us
idea.
Yeah,
I'll come
do the whole character for us. Do the whole character for us.
Yeah, all right.
I'd love to see. I loved it, by the way, Danny. Your Bill Cosby was awesome. Even if we're not supposed to talk about him anymore, I don't care. I thought it was great.
Yeah, he's still a comedian. What he's done's done, and so still.
Next time you're on, do me a favour. Do Joe for me, because I miss him.
Joe
Bjelke-Petersen. Yeah, I miss Joe. What a character! What a character! Seriously.
Yep.
You see the politicians now. We don't get Bob Hawkes anymore. We don't get, I just got to quickly tell you this. I was watching this thing today, and it's on Canada Parliament, and the Indigenous senator is really upset that they're going to drill in his area. And he said, it just goes to show you that the Prime Minister just doesn't give a fuck. And he sits back down, and everyone's like, yeah. And I'm thinking, right, is this the kind of shit that happens all the time? I've got to get on to Canada Parliament.
Yeah.
I've got to watch these guys. It's so much better than, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, that's right.
You should do a whole, Danny, do you do that? Do you do like the politician thing, like a whole group of things, like jumping from one voice to the next to the next?
Yeah, in the act at the moment, because we used to predominantly be on cruise ships and what have you, but it didn't make any difference. It was just mostly with any audience, was that you'd have to say something that's not quite, you don't divide the audience straight away. So if you say, I'm this political persuasion, therefore you lost half your audience straight away. So you just do an impression. I do Hotel California. And I do John Howard into George W. Bush, into Bill Clinton, into Barack Obama, into Donald Trump, into Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the governor of California.
Governor of California.
Which was the point of the song. Hotel California, I'm the governor of California. So it led along that way. It was just it's a perfect. When I found the song, I thought there's something about Hotel California, governor of California. So I worked backwards, and I said, what do I need? So I went through each verse, and so you just do a line from, okay, if you think of this politician, what's the line that you think of? What perfectly describes him, you take him straight back to that person. So I had Howard, and there was a thing of, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, what's left of it, fresh smell of GST is rising in the air. So I got a shot in there, and then you get George W. Bush. You go, up ahead in the distance, I seen me a Chevron light. Cop pulled me over the side of the road the other day, said, you got any ID? I said, about what? Then there's Bill Clinton that comes in and, there she stood in the doorway. I heard me the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this better be Hillary, otherwise I'm going to catch hell. It would go on and on. It's Barack Obama said, what does he say? He says, up ahead in the distance of the show, like that. Something or other, is Donald Trump. Can you um, what are you going to do for the American people? I'm going to make America great again. No more shredded cheese. You're going to have the great, great, great. And then it's look at me, I was the governor of California. You know, he goes on from there. So it's just
awesome.
a perfect song to
Oh,
everything
shit.
along. I don't know how I thought of it.
Good.
I'm loving it so much.
I don't know how
Actually,
I thought of
Danny,
it, but it just
Danny,
all came in together.
Next Wednesday, you're it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You got to do your skip for us.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm crying so much. That was the best.
No worries.
All right, guys. I got to
All
get going.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Take it easy. Have a good week. Oh, well, I'll see you Friday.
I'll see you Friday. Take care.
See
Thanks,
you next
Johnny.
week, Danny.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.